Episode 2 of Outer Banks Season 4 begins with Chandler Groff locking the front door and inviting the group into this dilapidated mansion. The group are unnerved, especially as the place is run down and covered in cobwebs. Wes does show up and offers a history lesson surrounding Blackbeard and Elizabeth. Wes claims he doesn't have much time after he was initially visited by a ghost. Cue sideways glances from our group. The others aren't quite sure what to make of this, but the gist of it is that the gang need to retrieve a keepsake, which happens to be an amulet, from Blackbeard's last ship called the Adventure. This has sunk nearby, and in doing so, this will help lift the curse that's befallen his family for the last 300 years. This amulet was apparently Elizabeth's most prized possession, and its location, as I mentioned, is somewhere off Goat Island. A secret lockbox hidden behind the headboard is its exact location on the ship, but this will involve some precarious diving. The group are offered 50k to do this, with 5k up front as a bit of a sweetener. Chandler tells JJ that he believes in him, and after taking the cash, the group head back to the mainland. Remember that Lightner fellow? Well, he shows up at a pirate museum and learns the exact location of Blackbeard's treasure from the man that works there. Looks like we have our antagonist for the season. Hollis Robinson shows up to see Rafe in the midst of this, and she happens to be a big admirer of his father and somewhat of an opportunistic snake too. She's been watching him with the real estate moves and has a development project cooking. She wants a partner in the field, and she wants that to be Rafe. She wants to syndicate that land off Goat Island sometime later that evening. She believes they can make a ton of money on this, laughing at Wes for believing the place is haunted and seeing this as a perfect opportunity to begin developing on the land. Speaking of property, the Pogues find themselves in hot water when they receive a letter from the planning committee who have decided to change the zoning of the land that they initially bought. Apparently this is a way of forcing owners out of the property unless they can pay up. In order to fight this, they're going to need way more than 5k. They're going to need the full amount from Blackbeard's treasure to come out on top. The boys sweet talk Boogie, a ship captain, into handing over his ship so they can get out to Goat Island that night, but unfortunately the only thing they have to trade is JJ's bike. He's reluctant to let it go, but eventually watches as Boogie rides off. While they have their boat, there's trouble down by the beach. A body is found in the sand with no identification but for a strange sigil on the wrist of a triangle with a trident inside. While the body is taken away by Shoop and the others, our treasure hunters work together and head out to the treasure spot. JJ and Key are the ones who intend to dive down, and for now they need clear heads, so that means absolutely no drinking. While JJ and Key dive down, searching for the ship, the tide turns and the group struggle to keep their ship steady. A thick fog consumes them just as another boat approaches. It's not the Coast Guards though, but more people after the amulet. Underwater, Lightner shows up and jumps JJ and Key, leading to a big scuffle between the trio. They manage to get out just in time, stabbing the man with a harpoon gun and hurriedly drive off in their boat. At the same time, the antagonists bring their man on board, who feeds back what's happened. Back on land, the group scramble to the hospital as JJ reveals that he managed to pick up the amulet after all. Due to their late night dive and lightheadedness though, the pair are tasked with spending 12 hours inside a hyperbaric oxygen tank to recover. While they do, Pope believes the rest of them should head back to Wes and hand over the amulet to get the money. The others agree, but unfortunately when they show up at the island they find the cops are already there. Shoop greets them when they dock, where he reveals that Wes has passed away and only Chandler is left alive. As they spoke to him the previous day, Shoop sees these kids as big suspects, and that's bad news for all involved. So Outer Banks returns with a much more action-packed episode this time around. The group are finally underway with their treasure hunting, but it does seem way too convenient that they managed to find Blackbeard's ship and the treasure that quickly. And you're telling me in all that time nobody bothered to thoroughly check the island? And Lightner just happens to find the exact location from a Deus Ex Machina pirate museum. We could be looking at a supernatural spin on things this season, which would kind of align with games like Uncharted, which flirts the line between supernatural and conventional treasure hunting, which feels like it could be just the injection of craziness this series is lacking right now. It would appear that JJ may actually have a familial connection with Wes, especially if that letter and zooming in on the picture of the group is anything to go by. Still, when we do these recaps, just to let you know, it's obviously in the moment thoughts, so take that theory with a pinch of salt. The ending does look to set things up in a big way, leaving lots of question marks as we move through this adventure series. Thanks for watching, and do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.